It is now
Recording in progress.
4:32. I'll call the meeting to order. Did everyone have a chance to look at the minutes from last month's meeting? Are there any changes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, so update on golf outing fundraiser and 5th anniversary activities. Joe.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about this
I know a little something.
event?
First of all, I want to thank everybody for their support. I want to thank our residents because our businesses have been phenomenal. I'm very, very proud to say that we have 55 golfers that will golf on Friday. We have 33 tee signs sold. We've gotten donations from businesses. We've gotten individuals that have given us gifts to give out as prizes. So I'm thrilled. The list of activities on Friday at 9 a.m. in the parking lot of the Heritage Center. There will be a continental breakfast that has been provided by Sam's Club and by Dunkin' Donuts. At 10 o'clock, well, about 9:40, we're going to assemble all the golfers and walk them across the street. But before we do that, a lot of you see the t-shirts that each of the golfers is getting, along with a gift pack. Dick's Sporting Goods gave us water bottles for everybody. State Farm has given us quite a few tchotchkes, as they're called. They gave us can koozies and jar openers, chip clips. Stanley Security gave us Tic Tacs and lip balm because it's going to be 90 degrees out. Every golfer will get one of those along with a menu from Chubb's place. They will fill out the menu. We will turn in the menus when we start the golf, before we start the golf. It will be a shotgun start. In other words, we will have foursomes on every hole. And we will start. We will golf all the way through. We anticipate it will be 2.5 hours. And we start at 10, so we anticipate that the golf will end at 12:30. The golfers will then proceed into Chubb's and pick up their bag lunch of the sandwiches they selected with a bag of chips. Giant Eagle and Ingemar Beer have supplied the drinks for the luncheon that will be in the, which was partially donated by Party City Rentals. It will be in the parking lot, just adjacent to the parking lot of the Heritage Center. We have prizes to give away at that point. And in keeping with our theme, the Par 3 Masters Championship at the Heritage Center, we are giving away a green jacket. Okay. So we're really excited about it. The businesses, as I said, have been great. Saturday morning, Sam's Club has donated all the snacks and the bottles of water for all the soccer players and the softball players. They've given us 10 cases of water. And Giant Eagle has given us some soft drinks that we can keep in the center for our use, should we. There are soccer games at 9, 10:30, and 12. There are softball games at 12 and 2. There is Treasures in the Trunk that will take place at 8 a.m., not 9 a.m., and it will be done at 10. You know, the police will be visible. Spoken with Chief Hawk. They will be visible at both the golf outing and the activities on Saturday. We have an honor guard that is supposed to come from the local VFW because it's Armed Forces Day. That will be at 1 o'clock. It will be about a 10-minute ceremony. And it will be a memorial ceremony. And then after 3 o'clock, you will not see me. I will be collapsed on a couch somewhere. Because this has been a lot of work, but it's been very gratifying.
We'll have one on standby.
I don't think I'm that bad yet, but we've gotten some great support. You know, Sign City has cut their rate. But the people that made the T-shirts gave to us for 50% off, almost at cost. Okay. We've gotten a lot of concessions from a lot of people. And the greatest thing about it is all these people are telling us what you're doing is a great thing. And you can count on us anytime that you do something. So it just goes to show all we needed to do is ask. Yes, ma'am.
How are we recognizing all of those businesses?
Well, we gave them all T-box signs for the golf outing. We also got a placard, a sign placard that we're gonna put on an easel inside the Heritage Center for a month or so. Okay, until we start collecting for the next one. We also got 2 signs, and I thought this was apropos, in loving memory of Joe and Emma Bullock. Okay.
Well, thank you to Joe for all of his time and hard work in putting this together.
And I just believe in what we're doing. And, you know, a lot of people question what we're doing and question, you know, why I'm so enthusiastic about this. What happened here 5 years ago was indeed historic. You know, I love the guy. Not just for the area and our heritage, but for thousands of kids. You know, it's supposed to do that for the next generation. You know, I've explained to people that I have a vision of, and I've shared my vision with the rest of the board of what we want to do moving forward. Not just my vision, we're working on a vision. We can't stand still here. Because if you're standing still, and you know this, Diane, Amy, you know this from being in the library, if you're standing still, you're dying. Well, it is our responsibility to make this a vibrant part of our community long after everybody in this room is gone. Thanks.
Okay, in addition to the ongoing events for Saturday, we also had the Judge McCandless portrait hung up in the center last week. Georgette put out Judge McCandless's books in the case underneath the picture today. It looks really great. Joe's Corner came together so wonderfully. I'm thrilled with the way it turned out. Georgette and I picked up a couple more things from downstairs today. A baseball bat that may or may not have been Joe's, an old baseball glove. There was a tee flag from the 18th hole from Venango Golf Course.
Venango Golf
Yeah,
Course.
that was given to Joe when he
Yeah.
retired. So we put all that kind of stuff in the corner. So I think that, you know, brings it all together. So I'm gonna go look for a rug of some sort either tonight or tomorrow to see if I could maybe like anchor it a little bit better. But I'm really, really happy with the way it turned out. So thank you to Dan and Kevin for all of your hard work on that too. So
Wait until you see the display. I don't know. Did you share it with everybody?
We just showed
I don't know.
pictures with
She sent
the
out
group.
photos.
with the.
I gotta tell you something, guys. That is so well done.
It is. It is. It's very
You guys
professional.
did a fantastic job. And
Did
you
Steve
captured
see it
the
yet?
man.
Thank you.
You captured the man.
Was that it?
Did Steve see it yet?
I sent it out to Steve, yeah.
Okay.
And, yeah, and I'd say that Steve really helped out with that, with the piece, with the writing, you know, he fact checked me and made some nice suggestions. It was, yeah, it was a lot of work and using it right now to talk to my students about, they're revising their US research papers and I'm showing them that, you take something and show them all the copy that I had and all the stuff that you have to take out. So it's great.
Yeah. It's a process.
The editing is the hardest part.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Writing is rewriting.
Oh, great. Well, thank you, our audience, for coming today. It's nice to see new faces in the room. So everyone should have gotten 2 shirts, a polo shirt and then a t-shirt that says I Heart the Heritage Center on your chair. And then you also received a white volunteer contact sheet. I'm just asking for basic contact information because I don't know if that was ever done at the beginning, but like I don't have, I just want to make sure that everything is up to date, emergency contacts, your phone numbers, your email address, all that kind of stuff. So you can return that to me at your convenience or leave it here today. So thank you for coming and thank you all for your time and dedication to the Heritage Center. So as volunteers, thank you. Okay, so updates on subcommittees. I know all of us have been focused on this weekend's events, so I did send out, I think I sent it out. I made a survey to have someone on Saturday go around and speak to visitors and just capture email addresses, and I want to know how they heard about the event, why they're here, and what they're looking for us from events and exhibitions in the future. So just kind of gather that sort of information. So that would kind of be like a dawn thing. But moving forward, I was also thinking about like next week, starting to make a list of all of the nursing homes and schools and things to do outreach and group tours. Dan, Carolyn and I met today with a gentleman named Tom Binns. He is associated with the Westview Historical Society, and he has a personal collection of things from Westview Park that he's going to loan to us starting on June 1st. So he brought over some photographs, some original artwork from the official Westview painter, I guess. He painted all of the carousel horses and all of the artwork that you would see like on the rides on the outside. He has some really cool, interesting stuff. And he's going to be coming back next week. He'd never been to the center before, so he has some larger pieces that I wish we could accommodate, but maybe we could take 1 or 2. So now that he saw this space, he's going to come back next week with some more things. So that should be a fantastic complement to the Westview event that we're having in June. And Carolyn, do you want to speak to what else we've discussed with Tom today about the working with the Westview Historical Society and their space issue?
So Westview Historical Society has been around for a little while, and their ultimate goal is to have a museum symbol. They're in the process right now of figuring out how to get support for that. In the short term, they'd like to be able to have some visibility. And so as we started discussing this, their collection is stored in basements or lodges of counters, or page where that material can be on display in that for people to see and donate and use it. So part of this possibility of potentially partnering with them, giving them some sort of permanent loan space where they would.
Carolyn, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you come to the mic? Trish is on Zoom and she can't hear. Is it on, John?
It should be.
All right,
Does that work?
try to stand so that everyone can see. So, you want me to recap?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes, all right. So Westview Historical Society has been around for a while. They're currently building the capacity to have their own space similar to our museum, but they have a number of items in a collection space that's not really a collection space. It's old basements, it's someone's garage, it's things here and there. It's sometimes even like shop fronts. There are a couple of items. And so they're looking for a space where they can get more visibility and more exposure for what they're trying to do. They'd also like the materials that they have to be on display and visible for people to see. So we discussed the opportunity of having a permanent space for a loan from Westview Historical Society that would primarily be Westview Park, but maybe other things depending on what was relevant. We didn't discuss details. We wanted to make sure that that was all right with the FDPC and that we had some parameters around that. But I think it's a great opportunity for us to build relationships with other organizations, other municipalities, as well as to just gain exposure for the history of the area. So that's in brief what we discussed with him. I think we still need to talk with John Shalkowski, who's the founder and president of Westview Historical Society. But we'll reach out to him and we'll provide more information when we have it.
John's a great man, and I know him through Facebook.
Yeah,
He is a wealth of information.
and he was very generous when we were doing the Notorious North Hills.
Oh,
He came and met with me and he gave me a couple leads on a couple stories that I was unfamiliar with.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
very generous with his knowledge and time.
Okay.
So.
So would everyone feel comfortable if we gave some sort, like a small case to the Westview group?
I feel comfortable with it.
Okay.
And you know what? It's all part of the bigger package.
Mhm.
You know, when we start talking about expanding and becoming more relevant in the community, you're talking about actually taking the borders of the center and actually making them bigger,
I
Yeah.
think
being more welcoming to other organizations.
that might be something we want to consider for other groups too, because I know Carolyn and I have both worked with the Richland Historical Society.
Oh.
And like, it's the same thing. They have all this stuff and it's stored in somebody's house.
Mm.
And in their garage, and they're just so envious of our building. All small historical societies are
Yeah.
envious that we actually
Yeah.
have a building, but it might be something that we could allow other groups to do
Right.
because it helps them out and it raises our visibility.
Well, yeah, just thinking in the display, I mean, to have Westview items and then some of these other, that's what we really want.
Like
That's
you
what we
could do
want.
it on a rotating basis.
Yeah,
Right,
I think it's a
I like the
great
idea
idea.
of a rotating basis.
Yeah, I
because
do
that
too.
way, then you could have an opening or something like that for the show.
Right, right.
To
Make it some
hopefully gather some
visibility.
people from other areas here and then, over time, move it out and.
You talk about other
Show more
organizations,
stuff.
you talk about the Model Railroad Club at
Mhm.
Christmas time.
Yes.
That would be really
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
Okay. The-
Hi, Trish.
Hi there. I just was going to add, I think that's a great idea, but I know communities like Westview do a good job of sending out a newsletter to their residents. So that if we were to make that space available, I would like to see follow up that it gets into their newsletter so that all the residents of Westview know that we exist.
Yeah, for
So that
sure.
it's a direct tie to them, maybe get more people in, more people on our donation rolls, et cetera.
Yeah, definitely.
Going along with the outreach that you had talked about, Abby, there's an owner of a coffee shop in McCandless Crossing, of Convive. She has 6 kids, and they're all homeschooled. And she has a group of about 400 parents that homeschool their kids, and they're looking for a place like the Heritage Center to reinforce their lessons. So we're going to investigate that as well.
Field trip.
Yeah.
For school desks.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any other updates on things related to the subcommittees?
Well, you talked about outreach. I would like to congratulate you. And I would like to congratulate John. In today's version of the North Journal,
Hmm.
there is a front page article about our beautiful Heritage Center. And it talks about the weekend's events, and we are very well represented. Abby did a great job, and John did a great job of coordinating this with the people at the North Journal. So I'd like to congratulate them publicly.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was a nice spread.
If you go to Westview, there's also a North Hills Journal for the people in
Mhm.
Ross, because a friend of mine lives there.
Okay.
And, well, even my niece lives on Malibran, you know, but she gets North Hills, she doesn't.
Does she?
Yep.
Well,
She gets the North Hills Journal from the North Hills School, which is North Hills School District.
Well, the other
She's an NA.
The other publication that I'd like to see us get into is Northern Connections. Because that actually covers every medical facility. You can't walk into a UPMC or an AHN facility within 10 miles without picking up a Northern Connections. So, but you know what? I'm just so pleased that we're on the move.
As far as my subcommittee goes, I've asked Carolyn and if she would join onto it. Mine is sort of vetting exhibits and vetting folks who come in and talk. And so I am looking for anybody who's interested in doing any of that type of work, who has some, background in it. So Diane and others who kind of deal with that type of stuff can help kind of put together some sort of guidelines for who
Okay.
we do bring in and whatnot.
Mhm, mhm. Did you, well, this might be too far down the line, but the Nike missile site speaker,
I only kind of glanced over that. What's
Okay.
that about? Huh?
Amy, did you guys, you had the, his name escapes me, but you had a presentation at the library about the Nike missile site?
We've had, I think, 2 different speakers.
I think over the years, we've had 2 different speakers on that topic. Unfortunately, one just passed away. It was John L.
Oh, yeah, yes.
There's another resource for that.
Yeah, I
It's
think
an
there was
ROTC
somebody else, and I
director at
don't
North
know the
Elgin.
name, but I can probably find out who
Okay.
it was.
Okay. I know that the Heritage Center has hosted an event like that before, but is that something, from what I was told, it was a pretty popular
It was very
program.
popular.
So,
And
whatever-
anytime something like that is on Facebook, like with what is the history of McCandless,
Yeah.
anytime somebody posts about it, they jump all over it.
oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's like catnip. to
Yeah,
cats.
yeah,
good,
yeah.
all right.
It's fun. Yeah,
So then,
people do love it.
yeah, maybe we should think about scheduling something like that for the fall. Late summer.
The school district now owns that property.
The one by Hozak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I tried to get at it.
They're talking about doing something over there.
That was in my backyard growing up.
Are you still planning to do the Notorious North Hills?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, let's,
We just
October
need to
again?
talk to John about reserving the lodge, and then I'm gonna speak to my friend Joe, who is able to get food and drinks at no cost because he is a magician. And I am unable to do that, so I'm gonna be hitting you up for some help.
That's fine.
Well, should we look at dates now, since we have to reserve the lodge, or?
Well, yeah, I think our best bet is a Thursday in October. That's what we did before.
Mhm.
A lot of times when a lot of people use the lodge for their weddings. I think Thursday would be our best bet.
Okay.
Plus, you have some competition on Friday nights in Western Pennsylvania.
I would not want to go there.
yeah,
So the Thursday before Halloween is the 27th. Do we want to try and shoot for that?
I think we might want to go like the week before, because you don't know when
20th?
trick or treating will be, and
Okay.
You know,
True.
that's a very good point.
Okay,
yeah.
so like
The week
October.
before, everybody's
20th.
already in the Halloween
They're in
mindset.
the spirit.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mhm.
I just imagine you, I don't know, when you dress up, I either see you as a cop or some sort of gambler, like Sky Masters.
Gambler.
I mean, we dressed up, I
haven't worn my bollard yet, you know?
I mean, I just as a flapper. Lynn, who left, she was a bear. And we had somebody else, one of the members of the FDPC was a convict, Suzanne's husband. Amy was Mrs. Soffel. So, yeah. it was
Oh,
fun.
wow.
Mhm.
You hanging out with the convicts? Amy?
She carried a Bible.
I have my Bible, I have Ed's picture in my locker. We went all out, all the details.
Mhm.
And how much were tickets?
They were $25 a person,
Okay,
and I was told that was too low. That
okay.
we should have gone higher.
What do you, like, gauging? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I mean, we sold out. We at $25 a person. So I'm willing to, what do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I think last time we didn't market as much as a fundraiser, and I
Right.
think people are willing to pay more for fundraisers.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, you don't want to hurt people too much, $50,
Sure.
I don't know.
I think
You know,
$50,
Yeah.
especially if you can upgrade the food. You
Food
know,
was
if
pretty
you
good,
get
though.
somebody to cater the food.
Food was good.
I mean, you know, look at me. Food first on my agenda. So,
All right, so if we market it more as a fundraiser, yeah, I think 40 to 50.
Yeah, I'm
45?
45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like 45.
Joe says no.
Go an even number, $50.
Yeah, I agree with Joe.
All right.
Make it 50.
Okay.
You want to make change for 45 for all those people? I don't think so.
And the lodge, how many people did you have then?
Well, we used the Rose Barn.
Yeah,
Um,
and we looked at the lodge, was it last year?
Yeah. Yeah,
When we canceled for COVID again.
right.
You know, there you can put a lot more people.
It's 300 people that you can put in.
Well, it depends on what room, because you
Yeah,
have to project. and
Because
stuff.
we have to project. So I don't know, could we project on more than one screen?
I don't-
Oh, no, I'm getting too high
No,
tech.
Yeah,
we have the
multimedia,
ability to
yeah.
do that. I have 2 projectors and I have a splitter. We could do that. And we could run, listen, if you wanted to run one on the first floor and one on the base floor, we could do that.
I don't know, there's something to be said for some intimacy too, and
Yeah.
they're bigger rooms in the Rose Barn. I think we'd be able to get, what was our limit
I
last
think we
time?
did 65 in the Rose
We could
Barn.
easily
Oh, really?
do 100,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that might be, because we got to talk about content. I mean, whether we're
Yeah,
leveraging what we have and developing new.
yeah, I mean,
So
it's
that, you know, get
been,
some people.
it's been several years.
But if people come back and they say, well, this is just the same thing.
Thanks
Yeah.
for joining us. Grab a piece of pizza.
Thanks for having me, sir.
I mean, we can talk about it because I think, like, there's some stories that we will want to stay, like the Biddle Boys. We definitely want to keep them. And I don't know, Toots the Bear seemed to be very popular. I don't know, that murder in Ross Township where the whole family gets murdered on Christmas Eve.
Oh,
Oh,
It's
that's
a,
great.
it's a good story, but
But what I-
So let's take a look at there's two new ones in
you
it.
just want to add to
Yeah, I
it?
would say add a few new ones.
The other one that's more recent in history, the Jill DeJohn murder. Do you remember when she murdered her husband?
Yes, I do. And somebody else had suggested that I do the LaRocca family in
Oh,
it.
that'd be great.
No, thank you. No.
I mean, in that
Wonder was
house. That's a gorgeous house.
But I got a lead from the people in Pine Township because I've been working with Pine Community Center and I did not know that they have the grave site of the horse that helped develop polio vaccine. I'm not sure how the horse was involved, but they have like a little grove and I thought that might be a good story. Toots the Bear, no one could tell me the name of the horse.
Apparently briefly. He was involved briefly.
Yes.
I've been out for that.
Do you know what the horse's name is?
It does have it on there,
Yeah, because they told me they have a
but I can't.
marker, so I thought that might be a good one to add.
Toby, do you remember that road down in North Park that's right off of, as you're going up Babcock Boulevard, the one that shot off to the left and that was supposed to be a haunted mansion back there?
That's already in there. Well, no, we didn't add it in.
No, we have Blue Mist Road, but
That's Blue Mist
Yeah,
Road,
that's
I
Blue Mist
think.
Road. That was-
Okay.
The
Is that-
heritage? Do we actually do?
Is it?
Yeah, that's probably part of it. I get the two of those confused.
Okay, all right, so we'll shoot for October 20th, which is 2 Thursdays before Halloween, $50.
We'll beef up the content,
Yeah.
more disturbing tales.
New disturbing tales.
Declan, during his presentation on North Park, I grabbed a photo. He reported that Henry Hornbostel claimed to see a Nessie-like monster in Marshall Lake.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that play he did.
You know,
That was after a rough night at Buddy's Lodge.
That is one thing that I didn't do, but we could, because I wanted to do like the Bigfoot in the Wildwood Mines out on Wildwood
Oh,
Road.
yeah.
And I could do Nessie. And there's something at the lake, LaRoche College, I think, is haunted supposedly by a nun.
Oh.
I don't know if she wants to be grouped with Nessie and Bigfoot.
I know a nun dug around in that 2 feet of water one time.
Listen, I did that. Nonsense still haunt me. That was a great.
I'm sure you saw him well, maybe.
Hey, I wanted to mention to you guys, and I know it's totally changing the subject. Chief Huck is entering a foursome into our golf outing. He's busy in conference back there.
Well, thank you. Have we had any registrations for the Westview event in June?
We have about 12 so far.
12, really? Good, okay.
I shared it to the Westview Historical Society Facebook page, so great, the Ross Township today, so
Okay, great. Yeah, we're hoping to hit 45 on that also.
you're not gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
Diane, as far as outreach is concerned, I spoke with Dee Dee Rittman. You know Dee Dee?
Yeah.
Okay, Dee Dee's got about 25,000 followers. And she said if we wanted to share content with her, she would blast it out there, 25,000
Okay.
followers. And that doesn't just cover the North Hills, it covers all Pittsburgh region. Not that we need that, but I just thought I'd mention.
I don't have her contact, although I know who she is.
Okay,
Okay.
she taught you in high school.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Retired from our valley.
No fun
Oh,
memories.
okay,
She didn't teach me.
Information about that.
great.
And she also worked with Joe. They golfed. He golfed with the women students and she did the men.
Yeah,
Oh,
And for many years.
they coached opposite. Joe coached the girls and Dee Dee coached the boys.
Mhm.
interesting.
And Scott, her husband Scott and Joe were really tight.
Yes. till
Very
he passed
good.
away. I mean, till Scott passed away.
10 years ago this week.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, any,
Should we tell Dee Dee specifically about honoring Joe?
We did.
Okay.
I mentioned it. And she will be here at some point in time this weekend.
Okay.
I tried to get her into the golf outing, but Dee Dee's got some issues with arthritis.
Yes.
And she's scheduled in 3 golf outings this week. So I wish I had that much trouble with arthritis that I could play 3 golf. So,
well, I don't have any operations updates that I haven't already shared. I do have, we had an application for a new volunteer last week, so I'm going to be meeting with her next Friday. And I already told you about the volunteer contact sheet. And other upcoming events, our next event is June 14th, the Westview one that we've already talked about too. Open and miscellaneous topics. Oh, I did want to talk about the strategic plan schedule. After this weekend's events, we're going to be shifting gears hard into our strategic planning course. So with Carolyn's guidance, we've invited 20-ish people. So we have to finalize the list of people who are willing to participate. Obviously, all 3 of you have also agreed to participate. And our first meeting will be on Sunday, June 12th. So more information to come on that.
Do you know what time of day?
1 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, we're
Sure,
gonna
there's food there.
We're gonna do it over there or?
Do it here.
Depending on how many people we have,
Yeah.
yeah, we might have to do it here, especially if we have food, we'll have to do it
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
But I think Carolyn and I talked today about this. I think a mix of both, like if we have lunch, obviously we'd have to do it here, but also it's very valuable for people to see the space, especially the stakeholders that, are not as familiar with the Heritage Center or maybe have never been there before. So we'll certainly take them on a tour the first day,
Mhm.
take them over there, but yeah, location to be decided at this point. So that's all I have on that at the moment. Any other open or miscellaneous
Yeah,
topics?
I have one.
Yeah.
We had a great success with our presentation of the history of North Park.
Oh, right.
And what I was thinking, government bodies don't get that many letters of praise, but I do think that Desmond McManus, the park ranger, we should send a letter to whoever or whatever department he works for.
Yeah,
He did an excellent job,
yeah, that'd be great.
and it should, I think, come from this committee.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe we could even put it on the official town letterhead. John would let us do that.
Could we do that, John? Yeah, I got a thumbs up over there.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about the Westview? You were mentioning that, are you having people RSVP for that?
Yes.
Okay, is that in response to like North Park, or are we trying to make sure that we hit our limit and then if we hit our limit, stop, or what? Is that, because I didn't know we've done that in the past. I'm just wondering.
Kevin,
what the-
it's like Wayne Newton. We want to add a second show.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a
Well,
little bit
that's
of
what
that.
I'm, it's a positive dilemma, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's a little bit of that. Also knowing that Westview topic are very popular.
Okay.
And also he is going to be bringing copies of his book. So in order for him to know how many copies he needs to bring,
Okay.
we're asking people if they're interested in purchasing there. And then he'll also have order forms if
Okay.
you want to buy them,
And I
more
think
than one copy.
It makes sense because the space is
Mhm.
limited.
It is,
And I
yeah,
think people are a lot more cognizant of big overcrowding since
True.
COVID.
true.
So it would be really sad if people showed up and there wasn't room.
Yeah, that.
You'd have to
that
send them
and-
away. That makes people mad.
Sure, and it's also good that, whenever you say that, please RSVP, people know that they need to commit to it.
Mhm,
So I think you actually get more people to go
mhm.
whenever that's,
Yeah,
in place too.
Yeah.
So,
You know what? It's really cool because when you think about the last year and coming off of COVID, when you think about the history of radio, the history of baseball, the history of football, all the things that we've done, we've got some great crowds.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And we've gotten people into the center that have never been there before.
mhm.
And we've seen people coming back.
Right,
So I think it's just great.
yeah, it was good.
Jim, something that maybe you might consider, I've talked to people about volunteering at the center. And they'll say, well, where is it? And I tell them in the building and they'll say, oh, I thought that was a chapel. Is there some way that you can put a sign?
Do you really want to get me started on that?
They pass by it all this time and they don't.
I'll ask again, do you really want to get me started?
there's no possible way that we can put a sign up in front of the center.
It seems to be.
On and on about that.
I've had a number of comments
Oh.
on that.
That's what I get too, every time I mention it.
And you know what, every time I talk to members of town council, and Trish Clunin can attest to this, their ears are bleeding from me complaining about not having a sign.
I think we need to hire a teenager out there with us.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a sport.
Yeah, that's good. We'll get that kid on TV.
That would get them.
We're working on it, Cheryl.
All right.
There's a whole
That's the
story
short
there.
It'll take
answer.
a few years, maybe not in my
Few more
lifetime.
years.
It's already taken
It will happen within your lifetime.
I was determined. And it was a good determination.
Yeah.
We could take the one up just right there by the, going up the walkway, and just put it on the sign, put it up closer to the
Well, you
road,
know what?
turn it so they could read it going by.
It's all well and good, but I mean, we are working on it.
Any other miscellaneous topics?
Hey,
Bob?
I also want to recognize Bob Grip. Thank you for all that you've done for this township. Hey, we got a piece of pizza with your name on it. over there.
But it's just a snack.
So grab one on the way out. Hey,
It's been good.
are you playing with golf on Friday?
I'll stop over.
Okay.
Nobody wants me to play.
Oh, yes, we do. Diane wants you to play in her foursome.
That's right, so I can't golf.
He's going to surf. Wherever the slice takes me.
Any public comment? No.
I make a motion to adjourn.
A
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you all
Thanks,
for coming.
guys.
Okay.
Joe.